Hello again, this is SF Giants Fan Mike, coming to you today with a Carnival Phantasm video. Okay guys, you know I've been kind of on my journey through the Nasuverse, finding various little things here and there. Not so little things like, the Fate Zero, Fate State Night, those are obviously the main course of the Nasuverse, as far as I can tell. Then, there's other things like the Garden of Sinners, which, is, I want to say it's still a big deal, but it's kind of a little tucked away because it's not, it doesn't have the Fate moniker to it, so I didn't know 2 and 2. But eventually, I forget how I got turned on to the Garden of Sinners. I think one of you guys mentioned it in the comment section. Anyway, like a lot of things I found, it's comment section. From Fate Go and all this stuff. And then I have found Carnival Phantasm. I've only plucked out a few pictures this time, guys. I went through, there's something like 12 episodes or something. I don't know. However many there may have been. And it was a blast. An absolute enjoyment. As you guys can tell with my fascination with today's menu. Anyway, I'm just going to call it today's menu for the MEF family. Today's menu for the MEF. One of these days, I'll be able to get that right. For some reason, it just wants to muddle up in my head, and I want to call it the MEF Familia. But anyway, I love that show because it's just the cute little slice of life for Fate Stay Night. And I guess maybe kind of sort of Hollow Alaraxia, which I haven't seen yet, but I've heard of. And I actually got to see Bizette for the first time through Carnival Phantasm. I want to say she's there in the end credits. She might be there in the opening credits, but I think she only had one bit. Throughout the series, but it was kind of cool just to see her. One day I will get through Hollow Alaraxia. I'll get these things. If nothing else, I know Otaku Daikun plans to do a playthrough of Hollow Alaraxia once he gets done with Fate Stay Night. So that's actually one thing that's kind of been put on hold because I keep finding little things like this to take my time. I still haven't finished the Garden of Sinners. I think I'm midway through the 7th movie or episode, or however you want to title it. But I'm halfway through it. It's a 2-hour one. I'm like an hour into it, but I keep finding stuff. It's not that I don't think Garden of Sinners is interesting, but things like this are just an easy way to lose a couple of hours of your time, because you're just sitting there watching every 12-minute episode back to back to back. Or in my case, when I found the latest episode of Today's Family, I was, I watched that thing like 4 times. It's 12 minutes long. It's about 10 minutes of episode. Still, that's about an hour of my time that I could have taken to finish episode 7. But anyway, you guys get the idea. Anyway, Carnival Phantasm is an absolute blast, guys. I love this. From what I could tell, oh man, I don't have the snapshot. From what I could tell, this is primarily made up of 4 titles of the Nasuverse. Obviously, Fate Stay Night is why I'm there, right? Fate Stay Night, Hollow Alaraxia, something called Melty Blood. I'm guessing that is I actually don't think I have a picture of them anywhere. No, I don't have the picture that I wanted, guys. Of Shiki and the male Shiki and his little harem. Where you got like the vampire lady that turns magical girl. I don't know if that's just a skit for the for Carnival Phantasm or if that's something that's actually in the series. This is my first. I've heard of Melty Blood on Beast Slayer. I have not actually looked into that yet. And then obviously you have at the very end you had Fate Zero, Garden of Sinners, and whatnot. All kind of. And let's just go to the one. I'm gonna go to. There's the still. There's the still, guys. How many of us have wanted to see something like that for, I guess in my case, 6 months, since we learned that, Kiri and Idiasfeel weren't going to be a part of Ilya's life anymore? That is amazing. I totally missed the fact that, thank you to whoever was in the comment section on that video that pointed this specific thing out to me. Because I was like, oh, it's Kiritsugu, you know, and like a second layer before I could get over my shock of actually seeing Kiritsugu, because, you know, it's Fate Stay Night, not Fate Zero. I come back and I look and, oh my gosh, you got this cute little family moment. I loved that. It lasted like a second and a half. I didn't fully catch it on my first take, but dang, yeah, you get little, and let's just go to this. All right. So like all the more lighthearted, Fate Stay Night adaptations, you're going to obviously have cute retellings. You don't want to have the stakes where everybody dies. And I don't have any of the Lancer death scenes, but they kind of pulled the whole, they decided to pull the whole Kenny bit with Lancer. I don't know where he got that reputation from, but it's hilarious. Every time he died, it's like, oh my God, Lancer died. Instead of you bastards, it was, you're not human. Except for the very last one in Lancer Final Dead. That was amazing. They finally, when he did he crashed the Gay Belg car. I mean, this stuff just is awesome. In that one, they say you bastards, or at least translated it in the subtitles instead of, you know, I'm guessing that might be a mistranslation, you know, you translate it from English to Japanese back to English, you lose a little something, but still, you're not human was awesome. You get all kinds of cool little moments like the Holy Grail War being a race. You know, it's the 5th Grand Prix. This was awesome and cute, and Saber finally gets the Holy Grail, completes her quest, and because Shiro had to pay so much money to get in the first place, they just wish for his money back. That was kind of hilarious. All kinds of cool stuff in this. I can't even cover it all in a decently length video, guys. Again, all right. Oh yeah, this episode was hilarious. Okay, I haven't really got to see Saber Alter at work. Excuse me, guys. I'm gonna pop open my door to my. I can't really go. Hold on, let me open the door to my car for a moment. Get some cool air going here. There's no one around, so hopefully nobody's gonna ask me what I'm doing here. This was an awesome episode. I haven't really got to see Saber Alter in action yet. You don't really, I guess, get to see her in action, but still, it's hilarious. And the one thing this actually did was I had noticed Saber. Let me see. Let me go back to here. You notice Saber's got that little strand of hair that pokes up. They called it, I forget what they called it. It's like a hoge or something like that. I don't know if this is true, guys, but does Saber Alter's design normally not have that thing? I'm gonna look that up and see, because to become Saber Alter, she popped it off, and it was funny, they actually called it something. So I'm gonna see if that's like if that was just a design choice, or if that's actually a style or something, like some, I'll call them generic ponytails, but people will have like ceremonial ponytails that are called specific things. Kind of like, what do you call them? Not the Jedi, but the Padawans. You know, they'll have that little braided, long, I can only call it a ponytail. I don't know what you would call it in fashion or whatever. Never had one myself, but, you know, that's symbolic that, hey, they're a Padawan. I don't know if this is something like that or not. But anyway, the episode was awesome. There's so many different little things I could go on, from the 8-bit Ilias Castle wannabe game. I mean, dude, they should release that game. I would play it. To these just little moments where Gil's fawning over Saber, which is awesome. You get more Rin, you get more of these other characters that you don't know. Oh yeah, here's that bro moment right there with Taiga and Gil and Broskandrar drinking. Taiga was kind of cool in this one. She didn't seem like the Taiga from the visual novel or the animes, But, this is kind of like a parody of everything. So I kind of like the Taiga. Just like in Today's Family where Taiga gets to interact with Lancer. Honestly, I'd like to see more of that. I don't know how you're going to do that with Fate Stay Night. I'm guessing have been wrapped up for a good 8 to 10 years. I know Hollow Ataraxia was the, I want to say the sequel to Fate Stay Night, and I think that's around 2010. So they haven't really touched it since then, so I don't think they're really going back to that instead of stuff like this. But when they do stuff like this, I love the fact that they get to play with Taiga like that. As much as I like... sorry, guys, I'm kind of going in circles here. That's kind of what... this has just got me all like, yay, for this series. But it's kind of fun when they put Taiga in these situations, how she would interact with them. Yeah, that's all the pictures I got. I'll leave this up, I guess. Needless to say, I'm just really happy that I got to see it's like a parody of Fate Stay Night. I got introduced to, I'm guessing it's the Melty Blood characters. Supposedly it was a fighting game, but I don't know. I'm going to look into Melty Blood. It's a part of the Nasuverse I haven't really gotten into. I still got a lot of other stuff in front of Melty Blood, so don't expect me like this weekend to have investigated it and have a video up or anything. But it's something I'm now on my radar. I don't know if they've got these in English, so to get the if it's games of Melty Blood, I might not be able to actually play through it like I'd like to, like with Fate Stay Night. Although again with Fate Stay Night, I think I mentioned this before, I'm like this close to just doing what I really don't want to do and downloading it and playing through it. Anyway, guys, I'm going to leave this off there. This feels so much short from my perspective. There's so much in Carnival Phantasm I can go over. I understand it's just a parody, or, whatever you want to say. It's a for fun mashup of the Nasuverse. I hope they do. Maybe they have come out with more than this. Once I got through the 12th episode that I just finished before coming out here, I noticed the playlist was missing the last 20 videos in the playlist. So I actually looked in, I got curious, and yeah, this was not... I watched it on YouTube, and then even though it's named Carnival Phantasm OVA, it's not actually from Type Moon. So Type Moon, if you hear this, I'm sorry. But nonetheless, it was fun. I had a ton of fun with this. Oh, man. Again, it's just a fun little spin-off, a fun little thing to go through. I'm glad to have gone through it. I don't know what else to say. I want to keep talking about it because I'm so jazzed about it, but there's not really much more I can say other than I loved it. Right, guys? It was fun. I'm glad to have seen it. I'm glad to have been introduced to the Melty Blood characters. I think those are Melty Blood characters anyway. It's the one title they have on their opening credits that I didn't recognize. Since I didn't recognize the characters, I'm kind of putting 2 and 2 there. So maybe it's not Melty Blood, it's something else. But I'll figure that out at some point, guys. All right, guys. I'm gonna take off. I want to get through a few things today. Outside of just playing my video games and whatnot. Today's the 4th of July, by the way. Happy 4th. I'm going to try to get this up today on the 4th. Actually, I shouldn't have any problems getting it up on the 4th. I'm not really going to do any editing to this. I'm just going to put it up. Just my conscious stream of thoughts. Anyway, yeah, guys. I got some stuff I want to do. Hopefully I'll be able to... There's one video I want to get up for tomorrow. Actually, there's 2 I want to work on tonight. They're both Fate Grand Order. One of them's one where... I think I've mentioned this before. Where I went and I did a lunchtime... my lunchtime dailies. I went out there and on Archer Day, Gilgamesh just was not very nice to me. um, it's kind of like a rant meltdown. I'm just going to put it up and I'm going to put the labels on it, letting everybody know, hey, this is me kind of, well, I didn't really meltdown, but I was like blaming the game. Oh my gosh, he's cheating. Gilgamesh is cheating. It's that kind of a reaction. So I'm going to get some music on that. I'm going to put it up and you're going to see me kind of lose it at lunch. And then the other one is the 50 minute long video where I beat Orleans, the John d'Arc, the first singularity in Fate Grand Order. Those shouldn't take too long. Like I said, this is just going to go straight up to be up here on the 4th of July. I'm hoping... I caught it before it ran out, guys. Again, this is why I wanted to end it a little sooner. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a good 4th of July. I will see you guys next time, all right? Bye.